This is a iPhone, and this is a case. But this isn't just any case. See, this case can attach multiple lenses by Sandmarc. And when you do that, it will take your photography to a whole nother level. What's going on? Ryan Troy back with another video for you today, and in this video we'll be doing a non-technical review of a product. Now, why is it going to be non-technical? Well, let me give you this example. I have an iPhone, my mother has an iPhone, and my grandmother has an iPhone. And certain products you don't need to know everything about in order to use it the right way. Now, what product am I talking about? I am talking about the macro lens from Sandmarc. Okay? Now, before I keep going, I want to make this part clear. Sandmarc sent me this product. This is not a sponsored video and they did not pay me, although I do get to keep the lens. So let's get into it. And before we do, I know I said I wasn't going to make this technical, but I'm just going to explain this one thing. If you are wondering what is a macro lens and what does it do, I'll explain that part. Now, with a macro lens, it allows you to get real close to a subject and let your camera still focus. Usually with a camera, it's a certain distance that we can get before it stops focusing. Now, macro photography, you may have seen this photography before where you see plants and things like that, or insects and bugs that's extremely big. Basically, it has this magnification and it pulls out so many details. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the pros and cons of this lens. I'm gonna leave the cons for last because I only could think of one, and honestly for you, it may not even be a con. But before we go into the lens, they also sent me a case. Now, if you order this lens, it comes with its own case, but they sent me this other case that they have. And I really love this case for one reason, well, more than one reason, but definitely this one reason really helped. So this is the case right here. And if you can see right here where the camera is, it's a little groove in there. And the reason why it's there is so you can actually take the lens and you just screw it right into it, right? You just keep screwing and screwing, and then boom, okay? Now your lens is on the camera, and that is such a cool thing. But one thing that they also do is they send this clip. So if you wanted to use it with a different phone, you can actually screw it right into this piece right here. Let's see if you can see that. You can screw it right into there, and then it'll allow you to just clip it over your lens like that. So that's pretty neat that they allow you to do that. But like I said, the case is the best way because when you are trying to clip it, sometimes it's hard to get it even and right on point where it needs to be in order to not get like this black circle blocking the picture. Now, enough about the case. I'm pretty sure you clicked this video to know about the lens, so let's jump straight into it. Now, I usually use a macro lens a lot with my professional photography. This is my favorite macro lens. This is a Sigma 105 2.8 macro lens. Now, I usually use a macro lens for things that it's really not designed for, which is beauty photography. And I was excited about this lens because I felt like I would be able to do the same thing with it. Long story short, I can't. So what did I do afterwards? I started going through my apartment, looking at all type of things to take photos of, and it just blew me out the water. So I said, all right, let me use this macro lens for what you are actually supposed to use macro lenses for. So I took it out to a park. I went around a whole bunch of flowers. I took a whole lot of photos of flowers and even a bee that didn't sting me. So that was great. And you tell me what you think about these images. I shot them in RAW on my iPhone 12 Pro Max. I think I'm saying that right. 12 Pro Max, that camera. I shot it in RAW on my cell phone, okay? So you let me know what you think about these photos. So the pros of it is it works the way a macro lens is supposed to work. And I was blown away by the quality that just came out of a phone and not my mirrorless camera that I spent like $3,500 on and a lens that I spent like $1,000 on. We're talking about a phone with a lens that's under $100, okay? Also, if you're interested in this product, I will have it linked down below so you could go ahead on and check it out. But my pro is that it did exactly what it was supposed to do. But let's jump into the cons, or the cons. So remember how I told you when I use macro lens, I use it for beauty work? Well, the thing about this lens is you have to be at a certain distance with this lens before it focuses, and that distance is really, really close. Now with my macro lens that I have, my professional macro lens, because it is so big, I can zoom in, well, not even zoom because it's a fixed focal length. I'm not trying to be technical, but it's a fixed focal length, so I can stay so far back and get the whole face in focus, where if I had this lens on the phone, I would have to be extremely close to my face. And the best way to show you is this part right here. Basically, you have to be, that has to be on whatever it is that you want to take a photo of. So let's say I want to take a photo of my hand. I would have to be like right here in order to get it basically in focus. So that's the only con to me. But if you're not trying to take photos of, like I just said, beauty work, you shouldn't have no problem with it. I think this lens will be really good for people that have products and you may want to take product shots. Like this lens, it gives you so much detail, so much texture on anything that it is that you're trying to take a photo of. So for me, I think this is a really good entry-level lens. And by entry-level, I don't mean cheap and feels cheap. This lens is like, it feels professional and everything, but we're talking about a lens for a cell phone. So when I say professional, I mean like my lens for my mirrorless camera. So I feel like this is a good place to start. You can take amazing photos, as you see, as the pictures that I put up. You can take amazing photos. And it's just a win-win. I think Sandmarc is doing a really good job. I'm happy that they sent me this, and now that I have the case, I am going to get my hands on a couple more of their lenses. I'm pretty sure they won't send them to me. I'm gonna have to pay for those, but it's all right. I'm gonna send. I'm gonna go ahead on and make that purchase. So definitely go ahead on and check this out. If you like this review, go ahead on and leave it with a thumbs up. If you learned something from this non-technical review, go ahead on and subscribe as well. My channel is all about photography, so if you're interested in that, go ahead on and subscribe. I will see you all in the next video. Peace.